I'm going to continue to trade this until, hit that 1%, but I want to do a challenge still. Because I think to me, it's kind of coming into getting to be important where you add a principle every single day of what maybe we looked at in the market or we learned in the market, or the market conditions, and adding a challenge to every day of what the market has been doing. Right now, obviously, this market has been, given us a good consolidation with a break to looking for the break to the upside, because we've been seeing these lower highs happening all day long, right? The other thing that you're seeing here on the 5 is that here's the next action point, right? And so it can do this, and so it can come up here and decide this is where it could come back and bounce down. If it breaks above that, then it could continue to run higher. So I'd like it if everybody would want to, take the challenge, get into a practice account, not a live account. And the challenge is here to fade, not necessarily fade, let's just say counter trend trade. So what I want you guys to do is to build into a position, whether it's a buy or a sell, at the top of a price cycle. So I want you guys to build into a position. Now, one layer is not a position. I'm talking 2 or 3, 3 layers, 3-layer build. So I want you guys to build into a 3-layer build on a counter, not a counter move, but a early move. So you're building in, waiting for a move to happen. So you're getting in 3 layers, waiting for the turn. So you're getting in early with 3 layers. Does that make sense? Is that anybody have any questions on that challenge?
Would you explain that like in today's market right now?
Yeah, for sure. So this is a great example right here. So it came up, shoots down, and you know that it's about ready to come up. So I'm going to get into a layer here. I'd get into a layer here, and then I would get into a layer here, waiting for this move to turn. So case in point right here, if I feel like it's going to come down and test this area, I could get into a layer here if it pops up, get into a layer here, and then get into a layer here if it messes around I did that wrong. I'm like, wait. So forget what I just said. So if you're looking for it to move higher, right, or you're looking for it to sell, then you would get into a layer here. If it moves up, you'd get into a layer here, and it goes up, moves into a layer here. So as it moves against you, you're building into layers. Does that make sense? Waiting for that turn to happen. And I don't care if you're profitable on all 3 layers, but at the end of when you hit that X, you're profitable on everything. Does that make sense? So the goal is not to be break even, but the goal is to, if you're not going to be profitable on this first layer, then you're profitable on these 2 layers to make enough profit for that 3rd layer. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I think that's a good challenge today, because that's what I did all day long, was saying, okay, it's probably going at some point, it's probably going to like right this second. Right?
There it goes.
Gotta get Obs ready for school, man, but I appreciate it. I'll get the challenge done, and good trading. I'm up about 115.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, appreciate you guys.
So if anyone wants to take that challenge, finally a challenge I can do. Take trades that are going against me and enjoy the ride, right? Yeah. So this is, if you're following along, this might just be, it might just be giving you guys the answers. That's not fun. In fact, I think at some point I'm probably going to turn the screen over to one of you guys on the challenge, and you guys teach us how to do or what you're looking for and show us how to do the challenge instead of me. Because I think, like, again, I'm a big believer in learning by teaching. So if anybody's open to that, I'd love to start incorporating that here as well. It's like, here's the challenge. Who wants to take the challenge and who wants to show us how they're completing the challenge, right? Instead of me, I think it would be more important if somebody else does.
Hey, how much of the, because you said all the markets, right, that we're looking at, and that affects their individual countries. Because before I was just looking at the euro and the USD market.
Sure.
But you're saying look at all of them, right? No? Am I not? Okay, maybe I misunderstood it.
What, in relation to what? Like,
So,
look
like,
at all the markets?
Yeah, so like, for example, on my calendar here, I have,
In your news calendar?
In the news calendar, Canada, Australia, all that. And
so news, obviously, for Canada is going to affect and impact the Canada, anything that's correlated to Canada, right? But you also can get, you also can get moves in the Euro USD because they're the bigger, they're the biggest fiats in the world. Do you know what I mean? So they have the most impact. And so if something else is impacting other countries, you can still see an impact, like a natural disaster or something that's going to impact goods and services to the United States, right?
Sure.
Does that make sense? And so if Canada comes out and says, we're struggling in our oil reserves or whatever, and the U.S. is relying upon something like that, I'm just making it up. But if the U.S. is relying upon Canada being strong in those numbers and the Canada comes out with a weak, it could impact the U.S. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It won't directly impact him, and usually it doesn't, but you still should be cognizant of any type of news event that's coming into the market. No, that question with Doug is like, this pop-up felt like just like a news event. And so I'm like, we didn't have anything on the calendar. So I was wondering if something happened or somebody said something or a tweet came out or something, right?
See, I had it on mute because I'm listening to you. But let me check.
Elon Musk is buying Facebook.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him. I'm done with Twitter. I'm moving to Facebook.
He should. They say he's just going to kind of turn Twitter into a thing that does everything, like the American version of WeChat or something.
Got it.
Like an Omni app that does.
I have not followed that, but I know that he backed out and then they sued him. So is he?
Yeah. They forced him.
He's got it now.
So
They forced him to buy it.
He has to buy it. Okay. I didn't know how that turned out.
Did it last week.
He's already bought it.
And he had to buy it and pay a court fees. So his price went up.
I think he can afford it.
That's true. But that was a dumb move on his part. Unless he wanted more publicity, then brilliant.
That's expensive.
I think I'm just going to close out here and take the break even because I'm just worried about it not coming down and going back up. And so I'm like, I'm good with the break even. I'm actually good with where I'm at today on the profit. So I'm not looking to give that back to the market on another pop up or anything like that. So, challenge. I did it. I wasn't profitable on all my layers, but I was profitable. Anybody else did it? Who did it?
I did it.
Was that
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Congrats.
I made 56 pips.
Cliff, you did it. Everybody follow me. See, that's a little, congratulations on everybody that did it.
Yeah.
But the point is, I don't want to show you how to do it, right? And when we're doing a challenge. So I'd rather have you guys show me how you're doing it. right? I just think you're going to learn better. So I felt like I gave you guys the test, then I gave you guys the answer. But I'm not taking away from anybody that did it, because honestly, that's how I trade. That's my go-to strategy. I hate doing it in front of people because they think I'm losing. When I'm not losing, I'm building into a position for the turn. That's the way that Sean trades all the time. That's the way I learn. And so I'm building into a position for the turn. And your losing days are just those days where it's a marching market and you're building into a position and you don't get that turn. That's an abnormal market. That's what we've been experiencing the past couple of weeks. Normal market is you're going to get that turn. You know what I mean? And so you don't change typically the way that you trade, or you don't question the way you trade just because the market is not conducive to your style. You just change your style, right? And so that's why I was talking about, like, we didn't wobble this whole week, really. Like yesterday, we didn't wobble. We just kind of built into positions, waiting for the turn, built into positions, waiting for the turn, and the turn didn't happen for like 2 hours. And sometimes you have that, but eventually the turn does come. And if you're light enough in your positions, you can hold until that turn comes, because the turn's going to come. You just got to be able to withstand a larger move against you, right? So that'd be my takeaway. Anybody else have any takeaways from today's training?
That I like this market a lot better than the other one.
I say when you have the market, take it.
Yeah, if you can let us know whenever this market happens, I would love to do that.
Okay.
So send us a message.
A notification.
Right.